Go ahead.
Wait a minute. I'm doing the intro?
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
Hey everybody, we're back again. I know it's been a long time since we've done a podcast. Shout out to our good friend Nihai. Miss you guy. But I'm here, Avaz. I'm here with
Badass James Dynamite.
and we've got a new guy here with us today. Go ahead and tell everybody about you.
I'm Metal Mario 69, and I'm here to just, I have no idea. I'm having a good time, though.
69, dude.
You're one of those guys. You're one of those guys. One of those guys that still has that as his email address.
Yeah.
Where you go to apply for a job and like I'm at Metal Mario 69 420
At
Yeah.
MSN.com.
At AOL.com.
AOL Yahoo Mail.
Dude, people still have AOL. I have not heard of MSN, but when somebody comes up to me and they're like, yeah, I'm at AOL.com, I'm like, fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
it hasn't shut down. It
What
hasn't
the
shut down.
hell?
But didn't they just shut down Internet Explorer? Like that's done. It's not supported anymore.
Yeah, it's
Is it?
Microsoft or not? Yeah, Microsoft.
Yeah,
Edge.
Microsoft. Now.
So how did that outlast? How did AOL?
AOL. That's what
outlast?
I'm wondering. Like, how does AOL outlast Microsoft?
Yeah, or Internet Explorer.
Yeah,
So
I have no clue.
I don't know. Maybe they just said, "Fuck it, we'll just do email and
Right.
survive."
we'll just change it to Gmail.
Right?
Yeah, they'll never know.
It's the same username and password.
Yeah.
You know, whether you write in MSN.com or Gmail.com.
Have you ever tried to get back into your MySpace account? Did you ever have a
No, I haven't
MySpace?
tried yet.
I totally forgot
Nope.
like email that I used back then and like
I tried it like 6 years ago, and I
Did
could
you,
not get.
I'm hoping
you guys
Mine
remember who
still
was in
got
your
that.
top 8?
it's still got my music on there. My intro.
I don't even know. Yeah, 2009, and then it turned into like music. Oh, I got bought out
Well,
by
Justin
20
Timberlake. Justin Timberlake bought
Oh, yeah.
it, or he was a partner in that.
Something like that, yeah.
But
No. Aren't you getting confused with him being in the movie Social Network?
no. He
Okay.
actually bought.
Yeah, Napster.
He actually did buy MySpace.
Did he really?
Yeah, he
Wow.
tried. I think he tried to turn it into a music hub for like new artists to put out their new music.
I think
And
it got
I don't think it worked.
I think 20th Century Fox had a share in it too, so they had like all their movies like always on blast there. So it became very, I guess, corporate. Just kind of whack.
So this is a great segue considering we're trying to figure out the name for our podcast now. Because
Yeah, we're not sure what direction we're
we
gonna go in.
tend to
Drift.
a lot
Yeah. So
everywhere.
We're here on, I guess, the AOL topic. We're still like 30
We're
years.
still stuck in AOL.
We're 30 years
We
behind.
need to catch up to some TikTok or
Yeah, we're fucking this.
actually, I like TikTok. There's a lot of creative people on
there's
there.
a lot of creative. There's some funny stuff on TikTok.
There is a lot of funny stuff on TikTok.
Even though TikTok is already past its prime now, I guess. What's the
can't-
new thing? Do you even know?
I can't do TikTok. Like, I see something and then my brain instantly fries, and so I'm like, fuck that. I leave. Like, I can't do it. For
Yeah.
every 2 funny things on TikTok, there's like 86 shitty things. So I just can't.
But
do it.
that's true with anything.
But that's why they created Scroll.
Right,
you
right,
know,
100%.
so-
But see, my finger gets tired. Like, fuck that. Like,
And then that's when they invented the scroll from Marvel, just shapeshift.
no shit. Like, shout out to the scroll.
No, but yeah, I mean you're right. And anyone that creates anything is kind of like there's these really great creators, and there's a couple people that have just like drag the whole damn thing down.
Yeah.
Well, use and abuse, and they try to make it better.
Yeah,
Hashtag better.
but during the pandemic, it did help out a lot. Mm-hmm. But then as the election got closer last year, it got too political for me,
Everything was political.
and I was just like, I gotta go. All
Everything
right,
was
I gotta pass it, and whatever you.
that was like almost every format, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about
I
Twitter.
did my best
Twitter
to get.
was terrible.
I mean, I did my best to do stay away from it, I'm already going through a pandemic. I don't want impending doom to also like the future of the country to be also in the balance. I'm like, you know what? I can't deal with this right now.
Well,
it was too much, man.
There was no escapism at that point.
No.
Just everything was, you were getting bombarded left and right.
Constantly. So what are we going to talk about today? Politics? Should we talk about COVID-19?
No.
Anybody get vaccinated?
No. Do you.
We'll talk
if you're a good person, do what's best for you and leave it at that. We're not going to say... We're not
Wow,
gonna
he said if you're a good person.
No bias.
No bias. You do you.
Bias.
But if you're shitty, fucked up,
You do you.
If you're shitty, you do you as well.
it's an amalgamation of shit, then don't get vaccinated.
I never said that. I just said if you're a good person, do you. You would do what's best for you. Ain't nobody telling you what to do.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Anyways, so
Yeah, I think that got way
Super
too
scroll.
political there.
Maybe. All right. So what do we want to talk about today? What were you guys?
Oh, how Batman is a really bad at his job. We were talking about
Oh
earlier.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I like Batman. I enjoy Batman, but we're oversaturated with Batman as far as comic books, movies.
Isn't an oversaturation though?
Yes.
But supply and demand. If the demand is there,
Yeah, but if you
Is it
if you
oversaturated?
also don't know who else is out there, because it's like, could you honestly say that okay, with the same thing back in the early 2000s and late 90s with Marvel heavily relied on Wolverine.
yeah,
Now I think it's changed to Deadpool.
correct.
Heavily, like if it could be it'll be a Captain America and Wolverine. It'll be Iron Man and Wolverine. It'll be Wolverine by himself,
Well,
X-Men and Wolverine. And don't get me
So,
wrong,
I mean,
the same thing with Batman. It's kind of like I like Batman. I'm a big Batman fan, but there's too much of a saturation of a single character. And if they tone it down, I think you'll discover more characters for you to fall for.
Are you saying that we're more saturated with Batman over Superman right now?
Yes, it's always been that way. I think.
Not.
You're gonna say
Yeah,
no.
and I'm gonna say no because I would have to say it's only been oversaturated because of Tim Burton's Batman. Before that, it wasn't. That was all Superman.
Well, at that point, that was the only superhero movie that had been out.
Right, and that's why it was.
But even at
Maybe
that
Superman.
point, Batman had still outsold Superman comic books.
I think
But-
True.
the only time like that started actually becoming a trend was the mid '90s, and that's when they basically did the Death of Superman, where they're like, okay,
Right.
they're like,
Well,
Because
see, but that
Superman comic book sales were dying.
yeah, but you also have to realize that the day they decided to do that, nothing happened in the world. Like, far as newsworthy, there was nothing going on to say, hey, the news reported on it, they killed Superman off. And that's when everyone started going to the comic books and buying them. And I think we went a whole year without a Superman. I mean, it wasn't Clark Kent.
we had the Superman,
But you know, I think it was a whole year, and other people took over that comic book as far as Steel, Superboy,
Right.
Man of Tomorrow, and all that good stuff. But
Cyborg.
that was Man of Tomorrow. That was Steel.
No, Cyborg Superman, right?
Yeah, Cyborg Superman.
That was Man of Tomorrow.
No, that was the Eradicator.
No, that was the Superman comic book that he did. It was Superman, Man of Tomorrow, Steel, Man of Steel, and then it was Superboy. Those are the comic books. I could be wrong with the Man of Tomorrow.
Where did Eradicator come in?
Eradicator was Superman. They each got their own title. Man of Steel was
so you're
Steel.
saying Eradicator was Superman?
Yeah.
That was the title of the comic book that he got.
Okay, I'm confused. What
And-
the hell are we talking about?
So yeah, so each they were split off, and who was the real Superman and all that good stuff came about. But right now, as much as I like Batman, he's horrible at his job.
I think that's just I don't know. Like, I get it. Also, I think DC is half-ass in a shitty spot just because comic sales aren't as epic as they used to be. And obviously Batman makes money, right? So
Of course,
you have to put him out there, right? But then at the same time, just like he's saying, right? people want other characters. We want.
I want other characters.
Right.
I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, we don't know if everybody wants other characters.
But
I think majority of the world though.
Well, do you guys still read comic books?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. What was the last book you guys read?
Damn, I was already. Oh, I'm reading the new Rorschach stuff by Tom King.
Okay.
Ooh.
That shit's amazing.
Okay.
Actually,
now tell me.
The last one I read was that Joker.
Joker
series.
Wars?
Yeah.
Or which one?
No, not Joker Wars.
The Three
one before that.
Jokers.
The Three Jokers. Yeah.
Three Jokers. But
That was the last one I read.
Jason Fabik.
Okay. So, right now, there's a future slate that's coming out, or that is out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Future State.
Did it
stuff,
start yet? Oh,
Yeah.
It has.
Did
It's
it?
been
Yeah.
a couple of months now.
It's been out for a couple months.
Damn, I'm behind.
I was okay with the future stuff, where it's kind of like Bruce Wayne isn't Batman anymore. You know, Diana isn't Wonder Woman anymore, and Jonathan Kent is now the new Superman.
Yeah, no, all that makes sense.
It made sense, but they don't really go into detail with like why are they.
Well, see, my problem is like.
Well, if it just started, that's probably why.
Well, see, if you're gonna go.
Well, they did. They explained it. I'm not too okay with it.
Oh, okay, I see.
I think if they're gonna do something like that, they have to go like all in marketing. They have to like really push it. But for the time being, it just feels like a gimmick, and that's I don't know. Of course, that's not going to translate to sales.
As far as comic books go, though, I mean, a lot of stuff feels like a gimmick, and it's just remember, like they've had 75 years of stories, and they can't go back and retell the same stories over again. So they're constantly searching for something new, some kind of new story to tell, and that's why sometimes it feels like a gimmick. Hell, you can go back to some of the ridiculous stuff they did in the 60s and the 70s. That's like jumping the shark type stuff.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. But there was always something new back in the day because it was so insane.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, let's go back to Batman, right? There's only so much they've been able to do with Batman because it follows usually the same beats, right?
Correct.
Gotham stays
A shithole.
like you say, a shithole, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think Batman, maybe as a character, he has room to grow, but his city and what he stands for really doesn't grow.
That's the issue. Is the fact that it's kind of like I was saying, Batman is bad at his job. We've talked about this earlier, where it's kind of like Gotham is known throughout the DC to be a really horrible place to live in, and why families stay there, they don't know.
Black hole,
They've heard everything from every single genre, from the movies to the comic books to the cartoons, the animated stuff. That being said, Coast City, Central City, Star City, whatever, it's been cleaned up because of the hero. Metropolis. They're not saying there's no crime, but there is a lot less crime.
Well, yeah, you go to Metropolis, you're not worried about crime because
Superman. And the same thing with the Flash, the same thing with Green Lantern, the same thing with any other hero, Fawcett City, where Shazam is at. All these towns is kind of like, but Gotham City.
Always stays.
And we had discussion like, okay, the city plays a part. Mm-hmm. And we also talked about how, before we turn on the mics, we were discussing how one of the better comic books that came out of Gotham was the GCPD. Mm-hmm. Had nothing to do with heroes. It was great writing, great characters. Yeah. So can you take Batman out of Gotham and make him work and have Gotham be its own entity with its own cast of characters and still be a successful story?
Well, I think that would be fascinating. Just
because it has worked.
It has worked. I think it'd be good.
Well, I was gonna say that James Gordon took over as Batman for a while.
Yeah.
So technically that's kind of the
even
same
Harvey
thing.
Dent took over for protector of Gotham for a while.
So did Nightwing.
Yeah. So I mean, but he's got Bloodhaven, and
But then again, the whole purpose or whatever you want to call it is because of the mythos of the Batman. Sure. Now, if you take away the mythos out of Gotham, what would happen? That's my question.
Well, that's exactly what you need.
Right.
Because obviously, if it's a shithole with a hero,
what
you know what I mean.
Without the hero?
But another point that was brought up, part of the discussion, is that without the Batman there'd also be no Poison Ivy, no Penguin,
Right.
no Killer Croc, no Joker, no
Right.
Riddler. So the heavy elements of that will be gone. Now, can Bruce Wayne, as Bruce Wayne, do more than Batman could for the city as far as being able to finance non-corrupt politicians
That's a good point.
and officials and police officers?
That's a good point.
Because that's also a problem in the city. Now, that being said, can Bruce Wayne
Could
now...
have just funded the police with the same type
Exactly.
of technology.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. So,
Have a whole fleet of Batman.
well, not even that. It doesn't even have
Well,
to be
you know what I mean,
bad
but
tech
in
or
like-
anything like that. But it's kind of like one of the problems that he's talk about, how corrupt everyone is, every politician, a police officers.
Right. Which was another point I was going to bring up. Is like, technically, I don't think that the problems in Gotham really are Batman's fault. Because let's be honest, you've got people that run the freaking city. Don't they get blamed somewhere? You know?
Yeah.
You got a mayor. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You-
But if they're on the
yeah.
payroll, now if you're a billionaire, second richest or
Mm-hmm.
first richest man, depending on what comic book you're going to read, whether it's Lex Luthor
Right.
or Bruce Wayne, you have the funds to like, hey, let's weed out this corruption
Yeah.
and
sure.
clean up the city.
Well,
Sure.
isn't that he usually does that though, and it always goes to shit. Obviously, depending on who the fuck's writing the story, right?
Yeah.
But like usually Lex Luthor's always on it too. He's brilliant. He's like, oh well,
Which
I
is
already know
true.
Bruce Wayne's gonna be.
Yeah, but with
Funding
Lex
some
Luthor, most of the
bullshit.
time, he's the one that's starting the trouble, so that way he can make himself look like the good guy to be.
Right, that isn't always-
So you think Bruce Wayne is really causing the trouble of Batman so he could be the
It
hero?
could very possibly be, yeah.
I think there's
That
always.
he allows the city
so
to
he,
be corrupt, so that way he can be the Batman.
Well, see, I think
it's a vicious circle.
Batman's trying to. Obviously, he's doing something that Lex can't do, right? So Lex is very upfront with his stuff, right? He's money talks, right?
Right.
So Batman is also Bruce Wayne, money talks, right? But
spoilers. You just told people who cheese is. You don't drop something
Yeah,
like that.
He's new.
I
He's
know
new.
I done fucked up, but hey, sue me. But point being, Batman has his work cut out for him. He's in daytime.
That's Metal Mario 69 at AOL.com.
Yeah. Okay. Please send me
No.
all your hate.
But in all honesty, it's kind of like he's been at it for how many years?
Yeah, almost
And
80 now,
do you
isn't it?
think that Batman could do better as Bruce Wayne to save the city than he could as Batman? Because right now, what he's doing as Batman is failing. And if you've been reading any of the new comic books, even an old friend
Well, hell.
/ adversary of him is like, yeah, you're failing really bad.
think-
Joker brought it up
Yeah.
to him and said, you're failing
I
really
want to say
bad.
like the past 10 years, that's kind of been the thing with him. Like he's just not really cutting it anymore. I think his, extended family does more for the city than he does.
I think that's why they exist, though, right? I think Batman, in an unsaid kind of way,
So
knows
technically, I think he's just more mentally disturbed. Because that goes back to the whole fact, like I was saying, he's the one that's allowing the city to stay corrupt and dark
And I
crappy so
know
that way
it,
he
and I
can
know
be the
everyone
hero.
goes into his like no kill policy. That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Superman puts people away all the time.
yeah, and he has no kill policy. Neither does the Flash.
Right.
Neither does the Green Lantern. Neither does Martian Manhunter.
Right.
And whatever the case is, and I get it. He's a guy in a bat suit, but he's got the skills or whatever he needs. But Bruce Wayne could probably do more for the city than Batman ever could if he really just step up and said, "Hey, I am going to invest X amount of dollars to make sure the city's no longer corrupt,"
Right.
as opposed to spending that same amount of money on a new plane.
On himself.
Yeah.
To pretend, well...
See,
to play the hero.
I can't say that either, right? Because Batman knows what Batman stands for, right? And he's a symbol, right? People look up to
Well,
symbols,
that was
right?
the whole point. I mean, I think that's what he got from his parents' death, was he needed to become a symbol.
Right. And so that's what people just in general look up to,
Right.
right? Is symbols, right? No one's going to look at Bruce Wayne and be like, yeah, you'll get a few people who are like, oh, fuck yeah, Bruce
So
Wayne.
if Superman is a
But
symbol of hope...
but Lex Luthor did that.
Look, but...
People look up to Lex Luthor for LexCorp and Lex Innovations and whatever he's all like. So he puts his face out there. Lex Luthor provides this for you. Why can't Bruce Wayne?
Well,
I'm not saying not being in a cynical way. There was one comic book where somebody was egging Lex on. He's like, how great are you? You can't even make your own sister walk. Got behind a desk, got some beakers together, crunched some numbers, created a serum, injected his sister with it, made her walk, and then injected her again to make her paralyzed once more. But like, just so I could prove that I could do it to you.
Right. And it's very Lex Lutherish, right?
And it's kind of like that. Yeah. So he has the ability to help mankind in any possible way. Now, that being said, Bruce Wayne is not a scientific genius.
Right.
But he has the funds
Yes.
to fund scientific geniuses.
Yeah. Sure.
So, why not?
Again, because he wants to play hero. I mean, there's been many a time in the comics where he chooses Batman over Bruce Wayne. Constantly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he could do... I honestly believe, like, again, Batman is horrible at his job.
Yeah.
I think he should switch it up and let get Bruce Wayne a chance to try and fix the city. There might be some comic books where that actually happened. But would he actually be happy if the city's actually clean?
See, I don't think.
I think in his head, he's always gonna think
something's wrong.
Yeah,
something's wrong.
Yeah, and that's why I go back to like there's a mental instability there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Always.
Yeah, there's something in that head that makes him feel like he needs to be the Batman.
Yeah, granted, I'm still a Batman fan. I just think we're oversaturated with Batman.
I think Batman, in my opinion, works better as a one-shot kind of comic kind of character. I think
as opposed to a story arc.
Yes, I think we've hit that point where.
Well, okay.
I don't think writers know what to do with Batman to have him grow anymore.
That's true because you're absolutely right in that. Because technically, there's nothing else you can do as far as the Batman to change him, to make him grow or whatever. He's always going to be the same.
Well, right now,
person.
Again, if you guys haven't read anything new, they took away his fortune. He's not rich anymore.
He's not rich anymore.
Yeah, he's not rich anymore. So he's living off of whatever he could put together in a house that he's renting.
But I think as far as the Batman, and I personally believe that the reason why he is extremely popular is because of the villains.
No, yeah, I mean,
the people that he goes up against.
I think Batman in general is just a...
And that's why Gotham has to stay, a crappy place and full of villains, and Batman is terrible at his job, because if he's not terrible at his job, then there's no stories to tell.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's like, see, like, this is hella meta. Because we're not just talking about Batman as a character, but also writing Batman. And Batman has become difficult to write, to have him grow. Like, it's easy to have, like, one-shot stories with him, but to have him grow as a character, I think what they're doing right now is okay, with the fact that he's not rich anymore. At least it gives us something new. Mm-hmm. But I don't see him growing. Because he's always going to be that kind of guy who's
as long as it's Bruce Wayne.
Right, exactly. So, I don't see it.
But isn't that the kind of the same issue that people have with Superman, though? The big blue Boy Scout?
See, I can't say that for Superman because, let's just say he's Boy Scout, right? But that's all people think of Superman. So you have so much room to be like, well, he's not. And let's tell a different story. So there's growth with
and that's
Superman.
What Zack
they made him a father.
Him.
Yeah, they made him a father in Superman Rebirth.
Superman and Lois.
Like, what?
Two.
Oh, yeah, right now, the show, too. But they made him a father, right? And he has grown in that. Batman, they made him a father with Damian.
And then he turned him into a vigilante as well. Yeah, I mean, granted, not to say...
He did.
I mean, he was brought up by the League of Assassins or League of Shadows, whichever you prefer. But that also goes into why bring everyone into your crusade. I understand that some of them have motivation. Tony Zuko, but Damian had no. I would say he probably didn't have a choice because again, it was either that or be a psychopath because he wanted to kill everything. But Tim Drake, why bring him in? Jason Todd, he was lonely. I understand Batman was lonely. He's kind of like, well, I need a Robin.
Yeah.
And Tim Drake, he's all like, well, I think you did better with a Robin. Now you don't have one, so I'm going to be your new Robin. I would have been like, no. No way. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Be a different version of Oracle. Help me out with detective stuff, but do not. I think if they added different characters than other, what does he have? He's got Nightwing. He's got Red Hood. He's got Red Robin. He's got Robin. He's got Batgirl. He's got Spoiler.
Yeah.
The list keeps growing. It's kind of like you're supposed to be a lone vigilante.
But now there's a Bat family.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a huge Bat family.
Yeah.
And realistically, I guess you could say every time that one of these new characters comes into play, that's, like an interesting story. And that's probably the only time
now,
if
you have
an interesting story.
all these characters,
unless it's a villain.
Right?
Yeah, but if you have all these characters that come into play, Red Hood, all the Robins and Nightwings and Batgirls and Batwoman and Spoiler, the list goes on and on and on, and then Joker shows up. Like, yeah, we can't defeat him. Like, then you're not training them properly.
Yeah.
If you have all these people, and it's kind of like, well, now it's kind of like Penguin and Joker. There's about 10 of you guys.
Well, see,
What do we do?
Well, see, I get Joker, like, getting the one-up on Batman, obviously, but getting the one-up on 46 of them, like, you got 46 Gotham Knights.
You're going to tell me that Joker is going to outsmart every single one of these characters. Like, I understand picking them out one by one. Sure. You start from the smallest to the largest. You're capable. But ultimately, it's kind of like he's in Gotham. We have intel because he's got satellites. He's got people, patrolling the streets for him that are like not even like homeless people or hustlers and whatever the case is that feed him information. You can't get ahead of this. That like, Joker's planning to take down the hospitals again.
Right.
Well, what are we gonna do? Like, there's only 10 of us. What are we supposed to do?
Especially with the Batman, because every time he comes across something that he wasn't prepared for, he'll never let that happen again. So he's prepared for it. So he's got to be prepared for, like, freaking everything there is now.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, that's why
that's probably why they're having trouble with stories.
Well, I think that's why, like I was saying, I think Batman right now works better as a one-shot character. Like just a 12-issue series, right? Like, I just...
Oh, when they were doing as, was it All-Star Batmans?
Yeah.
Those were good because...
Those are really good.
Yeah, because it was a short... What,
Batman,
4 to 6 issue?
You waited like years for it to finish.
Yeah.
Was it Batman Earth 1? Batman Earth 1's fantastic. Like,
yeah.
I love Batman Earth 1. And that's, like, again, like, it's just a solid, short, consistent
I think
thing.
that in all honesty, Batman should probably leave Gotham and just focus on running the Watchtower. Send heroes to where they need to go.
That's a good idea.
See, but would Batman do that, right? He can't. I feel like
he can't.
It makes sense for...
You're right on that.
I think it makes sense for... Either if they keep...
Because that goes back to what I was saying. Like, he's got those mental issues. Like, he can't... Right. He can't allow...
He won't... He doesn't... Like, as much as he trusts his knights, his Gotham Knights, or the Justice League to do shit, he's not going to trust them like that. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, I could do that
he doesn't even trust the Justice
League.
Right.
Take it like, I could do that better. Right. I was like, they're over there preoccupied with that. I'm gonna go back through this back door kind of thing. So I don't think he mentally, like you say, he would do that. I feel like Batman is better off either dead as a symbol and inspiring.
He can do that because we have seen him do that. And Terry McGinnis.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
He was the man in the chair.
Right.
So I think he can do it. Is he willing to do it?
Well, he's only going to do it until his
body
stops
he's like
him.
85 in that, so that makes sense, right? And he's. It's not like he's happy about it either.
Which makes me excited for that Flashpoint movie.
Yeah, because that Batman does give Terry a bunch of shit for the longest. He's just like, I could have done that better. And Terry's like, what do you mean? Yeah. Right? They're like, right?
But that's also granted because of the simple fact that he also spent a lot of time training where Terry McGinnis just put on the suit and they just happen to have enhancements to it.
Right.
If it would have been hand-to-hand combat, Terry would not have won.
No.
Granted, over time, but none of the Robins, with the exception of Dick Grayson, who was talented as far as acrobatics go, was probably, I would say, the easiest to train, followed by Damian. But Jason and Tim, they just walked in and said, "Hi, we want to be superheroes."
Yeah.
Well, Jason just wanted to beat the shit out of people. That's all it was.
Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
was. Yeah, they put that dog down
Yeah.
at the right time
Right?
because he was going Cujo on these and everybody.
Yeah.
But either way, I think again, as a Batman fan, they need to rein him in a little bit more and not rely on that character as much as they have.
But it's cash cow. So they won't
Doesn't
do that.
matter.
So they
It's
won't
cash
do
It
that.
doesn't matter.
They won't
The,
do
the
it.
thing about it is that like the same thing happened with Wolverine.
Yeah, think about
Wolverine
that.
is
Like,
not
how
the
many-
cash cow it used to be. Okay,
How many new
here's the
comic book
thing.
writers are going into DC and going like, you know what, I got a great idea. Let's kill him off and let's just
We
make him a
should.
martyr. And
No.
obviously they're
And
probably
it-
going like, yeah,
It,
no.
it happened with Superman. We just talked about it. It happened with Superman.
Well,
They had
that's
the
because
meeting
he
and said,
wasn't-
"We're
he
going to
wasn't a
kill
cash
Superman."
cow.
We're going to kill Superman.
But he wasn't a cash cow then.
He's one of the top. He is one of the top 3 earners for DC.
He is. Yeah,
Now-
he's right.
No, always.
Always.
But he wasn't
You got Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
But he
Those
wasn't
are the
there.
top sales that they always have. Even back then, he was top sales, one of the top sellers. You're going to kill off the main character, and it worked because now people were intrigued. What's going to happen
Well, see,
next?
the problem here is that I think DC has cold feet, right? I don't think they have.
Well, they've killed him off before.
see, but,
Batman R.I.P.
right.
Yeah.
But how do you do that now? Right now, because comic sales are pretty low, right? Like, does it make sense
Yes,
to kill Batman off, right?
Yes.
So, yes, right. So it gets people
because
intrigued. Right?
again, that's we're back to Superman. That's a cash. We just discussed that cash sales were low, or if they were, they weren't where they were used to be. The story that's going on right now is good. It's not one of the best I've read yet. Not to say it's going to that it can turn around. But I think there has to be a drastic change, and I would love to see more of the supporting characters of that city take more of the high the spotlight. Well, the new
Well, they did that in R.I.P.
yeah, that was Battle for the Cowl and all that good
Yeah.
stuff. Who's going to be the next Batman?
Right.
Who says anyone could ever fill Batman's shoes? Why does that city need a Batman, knowing that there is a Robin, there is a Batgirl, there is a Red?
You?
Knowing that there,
Pardon.
That's the Super Scroll.
knowing that there are all these other heroes that have been trained that are affiliated with Batman.
Personally, my favorite Batman storyline was always the Bane. Breaking his
Nightfall?
back.
Nightfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
But
was
see,
my favorite.
like, we haven't had a.
Or No
huge-
Man's Land.
No Man's Land was great.
I
too.
still like the Bane storyline better. That's still one of my
The
favorite.
Nightfall. Was Nightfall?
We just haven't had a solid, like, insane Batman arc. Like, you're talking about Nightfall, right? We're talking about. What was the one you just mentioned right now?
Alright.
No Man's Land.
No Man's
Oh,
Land,
No
right?
Man's Land,
Those are huge, like, pivotal, like, Batman moments, right? We haven't, like, what was the last one we had by Tom?
Joker Wars was the last
Joker Wars,
one.
but see, no one really talked about Joker Wars, right? I don't think people will come back to that one to be like, oh, do you remember, like, Joker Wars was nuts?
Right,
No one
yeah.
talks about it like that. It's not a classic. I think the last classic we had was Court of Owls.
That's exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking too.
Court of
That
Owls
was a good.
Yeah.
But you see, that's where. But these are all events where he was tested
Yeah.
to his limits,
Yeah, yeah.
and we were like,
Exactly.
dude, is he actually going to make it? Mm-hmm. But the city is still garbage.
Yeah, I remember the market. See, the marketing for that was incredible for Court of Owls. I remember it was mysterious. You didn't know what anything. Everything was very cryptic, and we haven't gotten anything like
It
that.
has to do with presenting a new villain too.
Yeah, that was
You
huge
know,
too.
the same
Yeah,
with
you got-
Nightfall, you got Bane, Court of Owls, obviously.
we got Talon. Yeah,
So like, yeah,
Or just the court itself.
Yeah, just the court itself is
Well, in this one, Joker Wars, they introduced
Punchline. Right.
Punchline, the Clown Killer, and I think it was Ghost Hunter,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. So pretty much, the way it was explained right now, Ghost Hunter is equivalent to Batman. Like they did their training together.
Oh yeah.
You still don't see his face. You don't know who he is. But in the passages are like, I told you, your way is not working. And that is what the Joker Wars were about. is I'm going to show the world that you are not good at what you're doing. The city is still garbage. Joker took all of Bruce Wayne's money and gave all the Batman equipment to his henchmen.
That reminds me of that brother sister that they introduced.
Gotham Man.
Yeah,
No.
something like
Oh my
G
God. Gotham.
Boy or whatever.
That's just Gotham Girl and
Yeah.
And Gotham.
and Gotham, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I actually was kind of intrigued with those characters when they first presented them, and then they like killed him off really quick, and I was like,
Tom King didn't do anything with him.
I was like, damn, that was kind of a waste.
Well, there was a really cool scene where Batman's flying the plane from outside of the plane.
Yeah.
That was probably the coolest thing.
And that's why I was kind of
that
saying,
series.
like, okay, this is kind of interesting because now they're kind of presenting somebody that might actually be a,
Successor or
not just a successor, but somebody at his same level. They can give him a run for his money.
Yeah.
So I was like really like, okay, cool. We got somebody new. This might be good. This could lead to something. And like what, third issue or whatever, they kill him off.
Yeah,
like,
you know what? To tell you the
fuck,
truth, that character was
What was that about?
so throwaway. Where I remember the costume. I don't remember his origin or her origin because it was brother and sister.
Yeah, but it had something to do with the what was it, the toy maker or somebody? It was no Scarecrow. I think was like doing some kind of weird mind control with them or something.
Oh,
yeah, it was
something
really
what I just remember.
throwaway.
I just remember the plane scene was like my favorite part.
Yeah,
and I don't remember the rest of the story because I'm like, I'm not sure
but
about
it was
this
so
one.
short. That's why, and that's why I was saying like, okay, because that plane scene, that issue, I was like, this could be good. I can't wait to see what else is gonna happen.
No,
and then they just like.
I think
Tom,
just at least with the Batman series, when Tom King was I think he did 85 whole issues. I think he was very I want to call it the Last Jedi effect, where he's like trying to subvert your expectations.
Uh-huh.
Where he's like, oh, you thought that was gonna happen, but just kidding.
Right.
And you thought, but just kidding.
That's
and I was
true.
like, I don't like this because nothing is satisfying.
Like no fall through.
No, nothing's satisfying. Nothing punches because you're building up to something, right? You get to second gear, and then as soon as it hits third gear,
third base, you're about to slide into home.
the transmission blows out, and you're just like,
what the hell?
Okay, I'm getting two different metaphors. I'm getting baseball and I'm getting shifting in gears. I'm like, you guys are like.
You got baseball memes and you got Fast 9 memes right now. So,
But no, I mean, my problem that I have with the character is just that he doesn't need to be everywhere. DC's got to stop relying on one character.
Oh, and I remember when they came out with what was it, Batman Unlimited or something like that, or Worldwide?
Batman Inc.
Yes.
Batman Inc. Where they
I
wanted to establish a Batman in every major city in the world, and I'm like,
no,
I don't need this.
Like, no,
I don't need
why?
this. Now, if he wants to start
Worldwide,
I would like if he wants to start a Justice League International again and find heroes throughout the world.
that works.
Doesn't have to be Batman themed.
Right.
Then you're fine.
Yeah.
I get it. As a matter of fact, I think that's what they could actually create. When he was doing the Batman and the Outsiders.
Oh, that was great.
That was good.
That was great.
He didn't rely, but it was different. It had a different vibe. It had a different mission.
Because you had different characters.
Yeah, but now
different heroes.
I feel that I started collecting McFarlane toys, the DC universe.
all right, great stuff.
And I've gotten a couple of Build-A-Figures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of buying Batman.
You don't want a 66?
I'll buy the
figure?
66 because it's different.
Mm-hmm.
But I have Batman with axes. I have Batman with
Electric guitar.
electric guitar. As a matter of fact, I just had to get that
That
one.
exists, yeah.
And then I have Batman Beyond, which is okay. I got that one happens to be different.
Mm-hmm.
But if I need to buy a Build-A-Figure, there was one that had two.
Really?
When I built the Bane Build-A-Figure, which by the way is a garbage Build-A-Figure, good size, but the way they made it for the pieces to fit, you really have to struggle to get those in. And you'll go to YouTube, you'll see a bunch of videos of people having the same problem.
Wow.
The pieces do not connect
Yeah,
well.
it's a good looking figure. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't. You can't put the pieces together. You can't put the pieces together. So I finally wiggled it together. I thought about crazy gluing them together. Anyway, that one I had to buy Omega Batman.
Okay.
And then I had to buy Clone Batman.
Omega Batman, that's the one in the
That's the Last Night.
Yeah, the Last Night.
The Last Night, yeah. So Omega Batman happens to be original Batman that just went crazy and decided I am going to destroy the world. Mm-hmm. And then there's a clone of Batman before he went crazy to realize, like, hey, what happened to the original Batman? I got to put the world back together. So there's two Batman that I had to get for this stinking Build-A-Figure. Now, that being said, I'm tired of Batman being everywhere and saturated. I'm barely starting to get other characters for...
We just, after 2 years of the McFarlane figures now, we finally got Hal Jordan. It's just 2 whole damn years.
And you have to buy it with a Batman.
You have to buy it with the Green Lantern Batman
figure. The Green Lantern Batman figure.
It's a 2-pack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got John Stewart, great figure, but it's kind of like, oh, you have Hal Jordan. You have to get it with a Batman one.
Yeah, you have to get a Hal Jordan. I mean...
But now the only way, for right now, as far as I know, the only way you could get that, which is with the Dawnbreaker, Dark Knight Batman,
right,
which they sold separately, by itself. So I already have that figure. So for me to get Hal Jordan, I got to buy that figure again.
Oh, really?
With that one.
Yeah.
And then with what was that one? Not the Murder Machine. The red. What was it?
Oh, the red.
Yeah, I know.
The Red Flash. Is that
what the Bat Flash.
The Bat Flash. Yeah.
Red Death. Red Death.
Yeah, Red Death.
Like that, yeah.
Red Death.
Red Death.
You would get a Flash, and you would get
Red Death.
Red Death, but you cannot buy that separately.
Oh. You can't buy the Red Death.
You can't buy separately.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, are they going to do the same thing with Hal Jordan? Like, do I have to buy another of the same figure?
What I think they're.
But yeah, you have to. You're pretty much being forced to buy another Batman figure.
Well, see what they did with McFarlane's. Obviously, I don't know. It's like good and bad, right? So what they're doing is in those 2-packs, they're giving you.
Okay, guys, now we're going to get into toys,
right? So
because I just thanks to our former comrade Nihai, I started collecting more, and I started opening up my packages as far as the toys are concerned, because he told me you can't appreciate them in a box as much as. Yeah. So that being said, he started me on this vicious path of opening up action figures and displaying them, and now I understand what is a good figure and what is not a good figure.
There you go. He's cultured now.
Right?
Well, a little bit better. I honestly wish I had him still here so he could help me navigate it a little bit better.
Oh, he knew his stuff.
Yeah, he knew his stuff really, really well. Anyways, that being said, McFarlane Toys right now is one of my favorites. Nothing against, Hasbro's Legend series for Marvel.
McFarlane, I like the way that they're drawn out.
They're sculpted very well.
Every single figure has a different body, and I appreciate that a lot. It's not reused.
They have not released anything that doesn't center around the big 3.
Oh.
So it's Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman.
Yeah.
So right now I do have like Bizarro.
See, I love that they came out with Bizarro though.
But they also have infected Superman from Diseased.
Oh, really?
They have an infected Superman, which actually that was the one where he thought he was infected with the Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah, Joker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have that one, and then I also have Red Sun.
Okay.
And I think they have an animated one, but I wasn't a huge fan of the style of the animated series.
I think the first McFarlane series is honestly pretty bad. I'm glad it sold well. That way we can get what we have now.
But that being said, they have not released a comic book version of Wonder Woman originally.
No, they haven't.
Was it just Gal Gadot? Or?
They have Gal Gadot, 2 of them. They have the gold,
really?
The gold
and then the regular in the costume.
And they have Death Metal Wonder Woman.
They have Death Metal Wonder Woman, and they have Mohawk Wonder Woman from Last Night
on Earth. But
She had a mohawk, but no traditional Wonder Woman, no Martian Manhunter. They barely get in Green Lanterns. They have a Flash, 2 Flashes when you got to buy in a 2-pack with Red Death, and then the other one is Injustice. So it's not a Flash.
Yeah. They have a separate Flash too, but that's the thing I was trying to get into before this is that in the 2-pack, they're selling you the same figure, right? The same Flash, right? But it has a different head sculpt.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like that. Because I was
You
like,
should have given me the extra head.
right.
But you know what's weird though, as far as like those, even with statues, you will be able to find, I want to say at least a dozen Superman statues, and probably
Batman.
20 Batman statues for every one Wonder Woman
Sure.
or Flash or Green Lantern.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
those things are freaking hard to find.
Well, that's
And if they are, they're expensive.
yes,
the nature of the beast, right?
if they're even nice, even if because they might even look good.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Batman sells. So
Yeah.
I feel like the fact, like, because Batman sells, they have the money to make our Superman. They have the money to make our Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Our Hal Jordans, our Martian Man.
In all honesty, we could say how much Batman sells, but there's also other characters that would if you just gave them the chance.
But how do you do that, right? How do you convince...
Well,
Because I already pre-ordered the hell out of all the stuff that is not Batman related.
me too, right? Because
Like they have Dr. Fate coming out, pre-order.
I love-
that's
yeah.
awesome.
You know, so it's kind of like I'm like finally something that's
see-
not Batman.
Let's just say we're different, right? We're people who are actually actively in comics, right? In the world of DC, right? How do you convince casual
The world?
people, right? How do you convince the world to get into John Jones, right?
Okay,
very easy. You
I'm gonna
hold
tell
your-
you.
you hold your breath.
You pulled Batman out of the fucking comic books for a while and focus on other people back to the original thing that we have.
But
Okay,
you can't do
okay.
that unless you're in charge of DC.
Okay.
I'm buying DC one of these days.
Okay, but so now Batman's out of the picture, right? I, a casual Fast and Furious fan, says, fuck that. I don't want to read these comics anymore because Batman's not in it.
A casual
Casual
Fast and
Fast and
Furious
Furious.
fan, yeah.
How now I don't want to read comics anymore because Batman's not there. How do you pull me in to read Martian Manhunter?
We're
How do you
going
pull
around
me
in
into
circles
reading?
on this
No,
because
no,
of the simple
what's the
reason
goal?
that when they killed off Superman again, other people in the Justice League stepped up and then they incorporated. I wouldn't mind having a super.
Sure.
Because it's different. I bought the Terry McGinnis. I bought that one because it's a diff. I bought the Bizarro because Bizarro is not Superman.
Yeah.
You know, nothing against the traditional sculpts. I do have the black costume Superman, which is not a McFarlane, but it is just him. I think it was one of the Essentials.
DC Essentials.
Yeah. So, and it's him with the mullet and a black costume
Nice.
with just a silver S on his chest. That's
a good
it.
one,
Yeah.
And I have no issues with the Wonder Woman that they have released, but I want the comic book version that's in there. That's not like attached to a miniseries.
Sure.
But I really want the Question.
I would love the question.
You know, I really want a Detective Chimp to come along, maybe as an accessory with the Question. You know, Black Adam.
I want Mr. Miracle. I would love him. Mr.
But the thing is that was also a 5-inch sculpt, with the McFarlanes are a 7-inch sculpt, so it just looks smaller.
I think it came out in like the early 2000s. It was like the DC Direct.
He's got the little Cosmic Cube.
Oh no, that's the DC Icon.
I'm sorry, not the Cosmic Cube, the Mother Box.
Mother Box, yeah. No, I haven't. Before that, DC Direct had like these 7-inch figures.
Yeah.
And I have that Mr. Miracle. But I was like, I would love to see McFarlane tackle Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. The new guys. Well, and then the issue that I also have with said company is that they do exclusives with Target or Walmart.
Okay, we were just talking
And
about
the issues that I have is that the employees gets dibs. So or
Unless you can catch it on
the off the
that
truck.
website.
Yeah. There is a couple, like I think the Batman Beyond was a Target exclusive for a while.
Yeah.
And they decided to open it up for everybody. And now the same thing happened with Flashpoint Batman. I do have that one.
Nice.
And that one is kind of like was a exclusive for Target.
That is.
I was lucky to find one.
Is that the masked version? Or
The masked version.
Yeah, right?
Nice.
Because you can find a not, but why would you want Thomas Wayne? You know what I mean?
He's got some daddy issues.
No, he's got some wife issues because she turns
is
in.
the daddy.
Yeah. But, you know, as far as the McFarlane toys, the sculpts are great. I'm just tired of having to have a new Batman if I want to build a figure.
Well, that's kind of like what I was saying. I mean, you technically have to kind of hold your breath until somebody is able to convince...
just so you guys hear that, that's actually drinks being made and not anybody peeing.
This is our 46th rum and
Well,
coke.
not this time.
Yeah, so
Not this time.
Because look, we just got a Shazam movie. Who would have ever guessed we would have got a Shazam movie?
Well, they did. I think Entric and the Demon is coming out.
Damn, is that?
Yeah, they're doing Entric and the Demon, but they're also doing the Shazam.
Oh,
King.
we were still talking about McFarlane figures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming out with...
I was talking about the movie.
Well, that's the only toy that they come out with so far.
Is like, because we're talking about how they only hit the big three, and the only reason why they hit the big three is because the only ones that ever get TV shows and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but how come you didn't see more of Aquaman merch?
Do you?
Well,
Aquaman was a great movie.
Well, McFarlane's,
okay, well,
McFarlane's
true.
weird. Because, what?
But before the movie, would you have seen any Aquaman merch?
No.
I wouldn't have a problem with it because I actually do like Aquaman. But, I mean, I did buy an action figure before the movie came out that I have now that is, you know, the traditional Aquaman look and not Momoa. But even now...
That's what I was saying. Like,
but now
that's the downside to the movies, though, is you only get the movie version.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, well, even those, McFarlane version of the action figures,
Nice.
where you get a costume Superman, nowhere to be found.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm going to be hunting for those, like, no
Right?
tomorrow.
Heck
Right?
They're out. They're out right now. I think you could possibly get them at Entertainment Earth.
They
Plug.
the pre-order for them was just ended today. So as of today, I think they're actually
Circulating.
they're out. They're being shipped out. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the problem with.
That's the problem with majority of these things. I mean, they're hard to find. Period.
Well, okay. What was the one? The Merciless. The Merciless. That's the Batman / Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one is a Build-A-Figure.
Oh really?
Yeah. So you have to get. I'm trying to remember what action figures you need to get for that one. Anyway, the torso is there is a Batman Who Laughs. There is an infected Robin. There is a Batman. And I'm trying to remember what the other part was, because one of them you get the torso, the legs, and another one you get the helmet, or whatever the case is. Everyone is selling for $25. So with McFarlane Toys, as of right now, if it's a Build-A-Figure, it's $25. If it's a single piece, it's usually about $20.
Yeah.
So you figure you're buying for the extra plastic.
Right.
The infected Joker, which is the torso of the Merciless, is going for about $80.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, and the other ones are $25. So why is that one piece so damn expensive? And it's just an infected. Granted, there are 3 different versions of this infected Robin.
And this is one of the reasons why I like to stick to the statues.
See, I
One and done.
I jump around, but because the exclusive things turn me off. Obviously, I think the fact that they're like Walmart and Target exclusives,
Right.
it makes it a complete mission for us to try to find it. Because as a collector, right, it's a hassle.
Well-
It sucks.
You know, I mean, when it's an exclusive too, okay.
And those are the ones that the price goes up, are the
Yeah.
exclusives.
Now, if it's an exclusive, I would probably be more okay with it if that store charged more. Because
I would be okay with it too. The thing is
if
that
it's a freaking exclusive, then maybe you should charge more if you're the only place that it's supply and demand. That's why I look at it.
Well, I just want
And
it
then
to
you're kind
be.
of cutting out these other guys, the scalpers and all that. So you're kind of even.
see, the thing is that I'm okay with people buying multiple. And the reason I'm okay with people buying multiple because we're sitting in this room, and if I know that I find one of those pieces that I want, most likely you guys are going to want too. So I'll buy 3 of them, not charge you more for it.
But there's a difference between buying multiples and buying them all.
But see, like, let's just say how you're talking about, right? You're awesome. Like, that's a great way to look at it.
They all know that I'm awesome.
But we've got scalpers.
No, yeah, you have scalpers, and
that's what I'm saying.
And I've run into them at Comic Cons, which I miss because we haven't had that in a couple years.
Right.
But and it's happened where it's kind of like I'm buying. What's your limit? 6. I'm buying 6.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then they talk to the person right next to them. Hey, what are you getting? You're getting that? Guess what? I'll buy it for you. I'm going to give you the money to buy another 6 of the same thing.
Yeah.
And whatever it is you're looking for, I'm going to buy it for you, so you don't even have to spend your money.
So it's ridiculous.
So it sucks. And I know that there's a couple. I mean, I understand if you're working at these department stores and you see the figure and maybe you're not, you're like, screw it, I'm going to scalp. But leave some for some of the fans.
Yeah, no.
Like, don't take a whole entire box, please.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, if you have these exclusives or only to one store, maybe if they were to raise the price, we wouldn't be so.
Or not make them exclusive.
That would be the greatest.
That would be the
thing
better
ever.
thing.
That would be the better thing, right?
If I could find it at Target, or if I find it at Walmart, whatever the case is.
Like, I like when the
or if I could buy it direct. See, that's the thing, is that McFarlane, the website, as far as I know so far, you cannot buy through him directly.
No, you can't.
They'll tell you what you could get,
yeah,
and he'll tell you where you could get it, but he will not sell it to you.
Right. I think, I feel like it's just...
the Dr. Fate figure, that's a dope figure.
Dr. Fate, yeah. It's a...
That is a dope... It's even got a little stand.
It's not out yet, but it's
pre-order.
Yeah. But, I don't know. It's... Look, I collect, besides the McFarlane stuff, right? I collect a lot of stuff. And a big one is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, like, NECA, right? The NECA
and that's what Only High was all about.
Okay.
I know, you're still new.
These are the king of scalpers, right? The people who collect the NECA stuff. And Okay, so I spent 3-4 years looking for the Ninja Turtles, like the 1990 line.
Dude.
And... So, it was a mission. I was just like...
We're your people here.
It's not even fun anymore to collect because I see these scalpers selling them what is technically a $50 set for $400.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is wrong with you people?
That's what they do.
Right? And then, so eventually, I got lucky. I found the Splinter and the Shredder set at the Walmart right here.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like Christmas in July, right? I was like, sweet. But then the Turtles, I had to find some random person in Alabama on Mercari. And luckily I managed to convince them to sell it to me for $80. So I was like, but the fact that I have to do that,
I think $80 is kind of like an average.
$80 was exactly what I like. Even if it's $30 over market price, I was like, you know what? It's better than $400.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think majority of people were kind of turning around, and if they were going to sell them, or people were going to buy them, they were going to buy them for about $80. Right. $80 was a good going price if you couldn't get it in stores.
Well, there's certain ones that I wait on. Like, $25 for an action figure for me is not like a lot of money.
No.
They have the Dark Side from the Snyder Cut.
The $40 one, yeah.
Yeah, so okay, I might do $40 for it, but I don't know how big of a scope it is.
See, I'm waiting for that one because I guess there's 2 versions, right? There's the Uxas one where he doesn't have the armor from the flashback, right? In the Snyder Cut, and then there's armored Darkseid, and that's a San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah, it's considered a San Diego Comic Con exclusive,
and that's a Target exclusive too,
which is gone.
Disappointing, obviously. So, but yeah, it's just. I don't know. These exclusives have me.
Yeah, if they weren't being exclusive to a store, because I don't know if you guys have been to like try and collect. Those pegs are empty.
I haven't been, but
for which ones?
For anything.
My wife is gone.
Anything is like the pegs are empty in the toy aisles for collectibles.
Well, the crazy thing is, I think because let's say I follow this page on Instagram called Total Toy Recon. And I see people in South Carolina, Alabama.
We don't plug other people here.
New
Just so you know.
Jersey. Okay, I'm not promoting Total Toy Rica, but it is a fantastic little page. And I see all these places in the South that are completely stocked. And
And you know what? And a lot of the fan pages that I follow too, that I'm part of, these groups, same thing. You know, I'm hearing about them picking up like, oh, I found this at the local, Walmart or whatever, and I'm like, holy crap!
completely stocked.
Yeah,
Completely
they're showing
stocked.
pictures too.
Yeah,
like,
they're all
full, and I'm like,
and right here I'm like,
what
damn.
the hell?
Because I went to
Can't
I'm
come
like,
to
oh, I heard
California,
this-
you don't find nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. I'm assuming so. There's a
Is it
lot.
just that people, California, just have more money?
There's a lot of factors. I think I think there's more people here who are fans of stuff like that, who are willing to buy stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Stupid.
Right. And that's disappointing because we live here. So
Right.
it makes it
We
harder for
stupid
us.
too.
Right. So we're here blowing gasoline money for $25 figures.
Just give money to the government.
And we're just like, what a vicious cycle. It's just.
It is disappointing. I gotta find a friend in Kansas.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Freaking Tennessee or something.
Well, I mean, the problem is that you have like, okay, I got it for you. It's gonna be $50.
I'm like, well, I thought you were my friend, bro. I thought.
No, I mean, I would like to get in contact with people that'll be like, hey, let's do this toy trading network.
Sure.
Where it's kind of like, and luckily I did find somebody who helped me out find the that Jokerized Robin,
oh yeah.
and he actually found it. And
the Robin King, I think it was.
no, not the Robin King. The Robin King's another piece.
Okay.
That I gotta get
Yeah.
for another Build-A-Figure. And guess what you're building? A Batman.
Oh really?
Oh
Wow.
yeah, it's the Batman Beyond
Dark
one,
Father.
right? Oh yeah, Dark
Father.
Yeah.
And he is a combination of Darkseid and Batman.
Yeah.
He's sick though. I like
Dope.
it.
I
That's
know.
a
I'm
really
thinking
cool
like that's
design.
kind of dope.
That's a cool design.
No wonder you gotta find. No wonder you gotta get that one.
Well, it's another Batman. That's the thing. Is that if
It's
there's
half-ass Batman.
if I decide to buy a figure, right?
This coming from the guy who could play the Batman.
The problem is that
doesn't do a good job.
I just have legs.
I need
Like I bought
36 Batman.
So you
I
get
bought
the 37th one that
I bought the Wonder Woman one with the chainsaw.
Death
And
Metal.
Death Metal
Yeah,
Wonder
Death
Woman.
Metal.
It's a great sculpt, amazing features.
She's
I like the
beautiful.
articulation, but it's kind of like now I have these legs because they go to this figure.
Yeah.
So now I also bought like the Robin King, which is
So
a
you
dope ass
fell-
figure.
you
I'm
fell
like,
into
well,
this
now
one.
I have a torso. I want for Marvel, there is a Joe Fixit figure, and you know who Joe Fixit is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where-
Grey Hulk.
Grey Hulk.
Where?
I'm buying figures that I don't care about to build this Build-A-Figure.
Really? I didn't know they had that one.
Yeah, it's a Build-A-Figure, and
Yeah.
I think I got like Captain America, but from the video game, not
What?
the movies or the comic book.
Oh yeah, Marvel
How
Avengers.
different? How
Captain
different
America.
is that?
It doesn't look, the sculpt on that one is not that great.
Oh, so,
So
it's like
then-
really
and-
pixelated.
And then also the same thing with it was Iron Man from the video game as well. Is not so it doesn't look like Tony Stark from the movies. Doesn't look like Tony Stark from the comic books. It's his own look. But I don't care about these versions of these figures. I just want the Joe Fixit. So I'm buying these characters that I don't care about just because I want Joe Fixit.
Does he come with the fedora?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
he has a fedora. He's in a suit. All that good stuff.
That's great.
That's dope, huh?
Yeah, and I did the same thing with the Professor Hulk from the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to get like somebody from the Serpent Society. Was it Copperhead? I think it was Copperhead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want Copperhead. Who the hell wants a Copperhead figure? But well, he's an arm, so I guess I got to get him.
It's like, fuck it, I'll get Frogman.
Right?
Alright.
Well, that's another one. That's
There's
another.
another one.
They're notorious because you get Stiltman.
You get still.
Oh.
You get Stiltman. So it's kind of like I
Yeah.
want the Still. I don't want Frogman. I don't give a
fuck off.
shit about him.
He wants Stilt, man.
Fuck Frogman.
But you also, the thing is that they get you because they also tie you with Miles Morales. So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a Miles Morales or a Spider Gwen, but
Yeah.
Frogman? Not even Throg. Give me Throg.
Yeah, no. Give me anyone but Frogman. When's the last time he was in a
I have
comic?
no idea.
But just because it's Stiltman, how often
Yeah.
do you see Stilt? See, Yeah.
See, Stiltman, you could do a lot with Stiltman. You could do some wacky, stupid shit with Stiltman, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I have a bunch of Build-A-Figures for pieces for Dormammu back when Doctor Strange was out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I never finished it because there was a bunch of useless figures I didn't want from that
Yeah.
line. And I was just like, I think they had like...
Well, yeah, that's where it boils down to, like, how
They're
bad do you want that Build-A-Figure?
Well, the sculpts were even worse back in 2016. Like, now they have, like, the digital, like,
Yeah.
printing.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, like, you'd have bug-eyed, like, Enchantress. You have bug-eyed, like, Doctor Strange with, like, a fade haircut. And I was like, well, I don't like any of this, but I need that Dormammu. But I gave up because I didn't want 30 shitty figures.
Well, what's worse now is, like, I mean, you're talking $20, $25 a figure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I remember that back in the day when I was able to buy figures for $5. But I'm old.
How were things during the Great Depression? No, but even
I
like,
did
they
great.
have the new Colossus Build-A-Figure that's coming out, and they have really great pieces with that. But I know it's going to skyrocket because you're going to have it's the Age of Apocalypse Colossus. So you have Age of Apocalypse, Jean Grey.
Yeah.
You have Scott Summers with the one eye.
Yep.
You have Magneto.
But those are some pretty cool figures. They should, I would think.
No, yeah. So you have
You
Rogue.
know?
You have Rogue.
Yeah, I mean,
Colossus,
I would actually
Jean Grey.
I'd be down to get some of those figures if they look good.
No, they do look good, but now what Marvel started doing is that like, okay, well, you get the front part of the torso, and then this character has the back part of the torso, and this one has the forearm,
So
and
it's
this
like
one,
12.
yeah.
pieces.
I think they did that with the Fing Fang Foom.
Dang.
Oh, I heard
they
about
did.
that
You
one.
got the neck,
I
you got
heard
the
about
head,
that
you
one,
get
yeah.
a wing, and the same thing with even right now with
Falcon?
the Falcon.
Yeah, the
Whereas
wing.
you get the Falcon, but no wings. You got to get Bucky to get part of the wing.
Oh,
you got
really?
the Zemo to get another part of the wing, and you got to get like Wanda and Vision and White Vision, Loki, just so you can get the
Just the
wings,
wings?
just for the
Just for the
wings.
wings.
How big are the wings?
They're pretty big.
They're pretty big,
Like,
so-
they're like 8 or 9 inches wide. It's
Oh, wow.
really cool to see it fully displayed.
Yeah.
But it's pricey. You
Oh,
obviously
yeah,
have to buy a
obviously,
collection,
yeah.
I like Loki, but I don't want Loki in a suit from the Loki series right now.
You know,
Which
like-
one? The President Loki?
No,
No.
just TVA Loki.
TVA
Oh, really?
with the
Boring.
with the khakis,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the khaki shirt and khaki pants.
It's a State Farm Loki.
Yeah. So I'm like, I mean, I got comic book Loki,
All right.
with the
that's
huge
cool.
horns.
Yeah.
Huge horns,
That's
and
good.
and that was part of again the Bill of Pharaoh. Cool, I'm good. Beta Ray Bill. I got Beta Ray
yeah,
Bill for
that's
another
good,
build
yeah.
for another build a figure, and then what was that fake Thor that they had for a while? He wasn't Thor, and then he started calling himself was it Stormbreaker?
Damn, I don't remember.
He had like a ponytail.
Yeah,
And a
Yeah, actually,
vest.
I think it was Stormbreaker.
Damn,
No,
I
that's
don't
a-
remember.
that's-
that's a weapon. Oh
That's the
my
weapon.
God.
Well, yeah, but
Thundercrack
Is
or
it-
Thunderstrike or something like that.
yeah.
But
Because
anyway,
wasn't he
Fake
carrying
Thor.
Stormbreaker?
no, he was carrying Mjolnir because Thor disappeared.
Oh, right.
They actually there was a small
Okay.
comic book called Thor Core.
Yeah.
It had Beta Ray Bill, Thor, and then this fake Thor. He had like a ponytail, an earring, a lightning bolt. He wore like a leathery vest. Anyway,
Well,
so
yeah, because he had to go get
Thunderstrike.
Thunderstrike.
to come back.
No,
I mean,
Thunderstrike was-
he had to get
and now he carries a mace as his new weapon. He's still like a hero, and Odin gave him one of these enchanted weapons, and it's a mace.
Huh.
It's like a hammer that got broken into pieces. Anyway, so he was part of the build. Like, all right, cool, I'm cool with that one. But then it's kind of like, yeah, we're gonna throw in Copperhead from the Serpent Society, and I'm like,
You ever wonder if, like, these guys in the office are like, okay, we'll do this cool figure, and this cool figure, and this cool figure.
and then 3 shitty ones.
Yeah, and then give me the worst fucking figure. Like, let's put it on the board.
But-
you give me 3 shitty figures, you give me 3 shitty figures, and let's see which ones
But
are
the thing
worst.
about it is that
Well, waste
there
your
are
money
some
on
there
the
are some
first one.
shitty figures that I'm like I said, Stiltman.
Yeah.
I would get that one. The only one that I really want because McFarlane's coming out with the Suicide Squad for the new movie that's coming out.
Kite Man.
Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man.
Well,
Polka Dot
yeah, of course, Polka Dot Man's gonna be the one. I want a Polka Dot Man poster.
You probably get it, but I think the Build-A-Figure for that is
King Shark.
King Shark.
King Shark.
And I don't want
That makes sense.
I don't want John Cena as an action figure.
Well,
Why? He's gonna get his own show.
I know.
This is the weird part.
I know.
So, okay, I don't know what McFarlane's actual like plot is with this, but King Shark is the Build-A-Figure, but 2 or 3 months after that line releases, they're releasing King Shark as a standalone figure for $40 too.